And with that, over to you, Jolie.
Hi, I'm Jolie, I'm an addict. Hi. Firstly, thank you Ian for taking the meeting. Thank you for everyone that does service and being here making the meeting possible. Thank you, Sarah, for asking me to come and share today. I'm not going to lie, every share I do, I'm fucking sorry. I'll try not to swear. I can't help it sometimes. I've got a bit of a potty mouth, it just comes out, it's natural. Do you want to start over or carry on? Okay. I'm real, and what comes out of my mouth is real. I can't sit here and pretend to be someone I'm not, okay? Before I do start, firstly, I love it when I see children being brought into meetings, because outside of recovery, we've still got lives and we've still got responsibilities, and children are a part of that. Not for me personally, but they are a part of that. And a part of recovery is being a better person outside in the real world, right? So if you have to bring a child to a meeting for you to get well, I love seeing it, and I actually encourage it, and I just give them a little white key ring. I hope you don't mind. Service, I don't know how I'm going to share it for 20 minutes on service. I'm going to try my utmost best. Sometimes when I get started, you won't stop me, but I'm going to try and just stick to my 20 minutes. What brought me into the rooms of NA, I was a hopeless addict. I couldn't stop using for love nor money. I was in active addiction for 16 years. And I came into my very first meeting just under 20 months ago. And I haven't looked back since. And that's not to say that that's going to be my journey for the rest of my recovery, because I'm an addict and I've got yets. Right, I haven't relapsed yet. I haven't used particular drugs yet. But I'm so aware of those yets that I do everything I can to not have those yets become my reality. And I was done. I was absolutely done. I didn't realise it, but that was my rock bottom. Treatment centres, rehabs, they're not part of my story. But what is part of my story is what everybody here can identify with. We can't stop using on our own. We need a programme, we need a fellowship, we need guidance, we need unity. And that's what, for me, that's what NA gave me. Service has been a massive part of that for me. I come to my first meeting and I kept hearing people announce things at the end of the meeting, and I'm like, what the hell's going on here? Is this a cult? And then the bit at the end where we all hold hands and then I'm like, this is definitely a cult. But when I went back the next day to my second meeting clean, I realised that those people in there, they don't get paid for what they do. They do it voluntarily because of what NA's done for them and the people that have come before them, what they have given to those people. And there are two things, in my opinion and in my experience, is what keeps NA going. It's sponsorship and service. Without those two things, NA doesn't go on. Right? We need service because we need people at the meetings. We need people at the meetings to keep those meetings open. If we can't keep those meetings open, then the still suffering addict or the still recovering addict has nowhere to go. And these rooms have saved my life. I'm pretty sure they've saved everyone's lives in here. I've been a part of 2 different committees as a part on my journey. I won't name the committees, just from an anonymity point of view, but one was a great, amazing committee, and the other one not so much. And this is just my truth, and it's my story. One was full of support, love, guidance, unity, and all those sorts of things that you want to find in a committee. And the other one not so much. There were arguments, there were differences of opinions, there was people not turning up for their commitments. And you know what? It happens. Things like this, they happen. But it was all new to me, right? So how do you navigate all these different personalities in one room? And I'm a people pleaser, right? So I will do everything I can to make sure this meeting's going ahead. Apparently I'm controlling. I don't know where the people get that from. I'm learning how controlling I really am through working a programme, and it's really bad. I've got to sort that shit out. If someone didn't turn up for their service, I'll be like, oh, I'll do it until I was doing every single service position on that committee. Because the expectation was that, oh, don't worry, Jolie will do it. Don't worry, Jolie will do it. So I was a glutton for punishment because I kept doing it, because I'm a people pleaser, because I wanted people to come to a place where they belonged, you know, because that's what this all is. For so many years, I can say this about myself and probably guess this about most of us in this room. We've never had a sense of belonging. And coming into these rooms, I was like, I found my place. You know, I found my people. I found where I'm understood. People get me here. I can speak a load of shit and they're like, oh yeah, I get that. And I'm like, what? I speak the way I speak in here to my moggles out there who aren't addicts. They're like, you need to be locked up. Right? But I can speak these things in here because we all understand each other, and that for me fills my heart, you know, because I've never fitted in anywhere. I've never felt a part of, and these rooms give that to me. But being on a part of a committee that wasn't what I expected. Now, this is my unrealistic expectations coming in here. I expected it to be smooth running, no problems. But what you find is there are so many different big personalities in one room. Because on paper, these rooms shouldn't work. They should not work, but they do. And there were times where I had conflict with certain people in the committee, and I was like, no, done, I'm leaving, I've had enough, screw you, and screw you, I'm done, right? And then I spoke to my sponsor, and her words to me was, don't quit, your commitment is for a year. And I know each group is autonomous, but most the committees that I've been a part of is for a year. She went, see it through to the end of the year, because what you'll get out of that are learnings and understandings. And this was at about 8 months into my commitment. I was like, God, I've still got 4 months. So instead of me saying I've got 4 months, I was like, right, I've got 12 more meetings. And then I was counting it down to 11 meetings, because it didn't seem as long if I counted it down by the meetings, right? And I saw it through to the end. But what that did teach me was that I'm not in control. I'm not the boss. People are going to have differences of opinions. People are going to like different things. People aren't going to like me, and that's fine. I'm not here to be liked. I'm here to get well. And when I saw it through to the end, what I took away from that is, holy shit, I did it. I committed to something for a whole year. Because out there, before coming into NA, the only 2 things that I had ever done service to as myself was making sure I had money to get drugs, and was to my drug dealer. They were the only 2 things I had service towards, getting those 2 things. And in here, that perspective has changed. Out there, because of the service that I've done, out there I can now I can start becoming a better member of society, where I'm not looking for an ulterior motive to do something for someone. And that goes for inside the rooms as well. I tell you what, in my first 2 weeks clean, there was a lady making teas and coffees at one of the meetings I regularly attended. And as I walked through the door, she said to me, she went, oh, hi Joe, white coffee, 2 sugars. And I was like, oh my God. Just having someone remember your drink order was like, I belonged, like, someone remembered me. Someone remembered what I freaking drank. Like, that's never happened before. Right, so I always say, for me, tea and coffee is probably one of my favourite positions to do, because if you get to make someone feel that welcome, they tend to want to come back. Right, because there's so many places that I've been to in life where I've not been made welcome and I've never gone back. I've been nothing but welcomed in NA, and NA has served me. And now it's my turn to give away what was freely given to me. You know, I've taken on secretary position. I've done literature. I've covered a lot of positions, a lot. My honest truth is I don't want to ever be a GSR. That's just where I'm at right now. That's just where I'm at right now. It's just not something that I have an intention of doing. It's not for me. I don't know, is that really service or not, me saying that? Yeah, it is what it is, it's my truth. But it's just not something that... And treasury is not something at the moment that I can sit here and say that I'm confident in doing. Not because I am not able to fulfil that commitment, because I'm not in work at the moment and I'm not financially stable. That's not to say that I will use any of the treasury money. That's me not taking a risk, because today I've got morals. Right? Today I've got such a love for what NA's given me. I'd never want to take away from it, ever, and I don't want to be in that position to do so. I tell you what, though, it's what I found myself chuckling on the way over here, and it was, the weather's lovely, right? And we've been waiting. It's been a very long, cold winter, and I've been waiting for this weather. I was driving along the A130, and I was like, "Oh, there's a lay-by there. Let me just pull over. I'll pull up my bonnet, take a picture, and say that I can't turn up for the shed because my car's broken down." And here I am sharing about service. But I'm an addict, right? So I look for things to get out of things. And I'm glad I didn't. I'm glad I turned up and done the share today. It's what service has given me is the ability to be there for my family, my friends, to help people in recovery, to support people in recovery. I don't sponsor. I've done my 12 steps. I'm not a sponsor at the moment. If I get asked, I would willingly be happy to help someone, because that's someone else took that chance and wanted to help me. You know, and I'm forever grateful for that. But service doesn't just have to be sitting here doing an active service position in a meeting. It's fellowship, it's doing a reading, it's sitting here in a meeting, each and every one of us right now sitting in a meeting are doing service, because we're carrying the message to the still suffering addict. It's if you can give a lift to someone that's on the way to a meeting if they're struggling, a phone call, a text message, it could be anything at all. If someone's struggling with step work and they phone you and ask you for help understanding a question, that in itself is service. You being there for someone in need is service. And that's all I ever want to do. And I did that a lot, but it got to a point where it was to the detriment of myself. And that's when I drew the line. Because as much as I need to serve other people, when my health and my well-being is affected, I need to take a step back. And a part of that is, I currently don't have an active service position in a meeting. I did. Last month I was in hospital, and I was told that I would have died if I didn't go in. And I had a service position at that time for secretary, and I knew when I come out of the hospital, I knew that I had to concentrate on my health and getting me back to 100% in order for me to be able to give myself to you guys. So I had to hand in my service position. I didn't want to do it, but I knew it had to be done. And for the first time in my life, I don't feel guilty for that, because I knew it had to be done. That's not to say I won't ever go back there, but right now, I need to be of service to myself to be of service to you guys. And if I can do that, then it's a job well done. How long have I got left?
About half an hour.
5 minutes. Half hour. Yeah, I don't actually know what else I can talk about in terms of service, to be honest. I think I'm all talked out. What I do want to say is that thank you so much for everyone being here and being of service, being in this room, being in this meeting, listening to me waffle on for 16 and a half minutes. I normally say I hope you get something from the end of from my share, but I don't do that anymore, because the only thing that we can all get from each other is the fact that we're addicts, and that part we understand from each other. If you're struggling to connect, if you're struggling to stay clean, service, in my opinion, service doesn't keep you clean. Service keeps you coming back. And you keep coming back, you will hear that message of hope. That message of hope will then get you clean, because you want what other people have got. So if you're struggling to stay clean, if you're struggling to connect with people, pick up service at a meeting, swap numbers with another recovering addict, connect, because the answers to our problems are in these rooms. These rooms are our solution. This fellowship is our solution, because out there it's a life of misery, and none of us want to go back to that. Thank you again for taking the meeting, and thank you all for listening to me, and I'll leave it there.
Thank you.